Thank you for joining me on my speech about autism. I am autistic, which isn't a surprise. The Center for Disease Control estimates that roughly 1 in 36 children in the United States are autistic. That is a lot. That's roughly 3% of people. And that, I assume, is more than you expected. And the issue with a population that large not getting their needs met or having a lot of misunderstandings can be hard, it can be harmful. And that's kind of what this speech is approaching today. So, why does this matter? What can you do? And more importantly, what is autism? Well, according to psychiatry.org, it's a developmental disorder that causes issues with communication, restricted interest, and repetitive behavior. Practically, that means autistic people have a really hard time socializing. A common trope with this is eye contact. So, I don't like making eye contact. It makes me uncomfortable. And a lot of people find issue with that. Another common thing is a monotone voice. It might even be coming across in this speech, but a lot of autistic people don't notice that they speak in a monotone, and a lot of people have a hard time sticking with that. And there's other difficulties in socializing that cause anxiety, and it just becomes very difficult for autistic people to communicate. Interest, restricted interest, something called special interest. Autistic people have special interest. One very famous person, or famous character, I should say, that gets represented with a special interest is Sherlock Holmes. He has a special interest in solving mysteries, being a detective. And that's, to a degree, true in autistic people. A lot of us have special interest, oftentimes more than one. Sonic the Hedgehog is a very common special interest for autistic people. Trains and horses, it could be anything. Where a lot of people fall short is, Sherlock is a savant. He is one of the best in the world. And that level of competence is not guaranteed in autistic people. We are just oftentimes normal people that have a really special interest that does not make us experts in it. And that's a misconception that happens often. Savants exist, but they are not the rule. Now, why does any of this matter? Well, it comes back to that 3%, that 1 in 36. Autism is fairly common. It's in all ethnic groups. It happens in men and women. It's suspected that men have it more often, but social psychologist Devin Price likes to refute that, saying that the culture of women and their ability to mask or hide that they're autistic makes it harder to detect. So maybe more than 1 in 36. But also, 1 in 6 children are diagnosed with some sort of developmental disorder, period. So whether they have ADHD or autism or Down syndrome, a lot of children would benefit from you knowing how to deal with people that need some special needs help. So, knowing that, what can you do? Well, dealing with autistic people, one thing that helps a lot is being direct, being specific, and being compassionate. Being direct with your speech, telling them exactly what you want or need, being specific when you do so rather than saying good job, tell them specifically what the good job was for, and making sure that when you say those things, it's done with empathy and compassion. Don't just drop it on them. Be a nice person to them. And understand that autistic people have things that they can't control. My brother, Jet, he is autistic. He's 15, and he's learning how to socialize. He unfortunately has a tic where he makes a fart noise with his mouth, and he can't stop that. But fortunately, his friends and my family are very understanding of that, and they make his life a lot easier with that understanding. And one thing that I personally struggle with is maintaining schedules and routines. I love having a schedule. I love having a routine. I love knowing what's going to be happening. I hate being late. And when people start switching things around very short notice, it can be very stressful. So if you're dealing with somebody who's autistic, give them a heads up as best you can. Try to accommodate a schedule and give a schedule, and that goes a long way. that mostly concludes what I had to talk about the what's of autism, why it matters, how you can help. But if you just do one thing for me, just remember the people you love could be autistic. Your friends, your family, and maybe even yourself. Love them the way that they want to be loved. Thank you.